Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rafe learns shocking information. Kayla informed Kate that Marlena had succeeded in deprogramming Harris at the Brady pub. Kate admitted to Kayla that she had come up with the plan to hire Harris to murder Megan. Since Megan had not experienced any harm, Kate begged Kayla to refrain from telling Roman. Kayla acknowledged that she hoped Megan had left their lives permanently and believed that Roman would comprehend. A lunch date with Steve was mentioned by Kayla. Kayla was led outside by Kate, who informed her that she had to see someone. Harris said to Marlena in his room at Salem University Hospital that in order to prevent Megan and Rolf from brainwashing him ever again, he needed to be constantly watched over at Bayview. Harris asserted that he wouldn't take the chance of once again falling victim to the DeMira family's goal despite Marlena pointing out that the family has been using mind control against people for decades. Marlena inquired as to what Harris required of her. Harris claimed that he would be forced to remain if Marlena admitted him to Bayview. Over the past few years, my mind has been so severely damaged. Just some healing time will do. This is a matter of survival for me. I just don't know if I can continue if I can't get rid of the worry that I might suddenly lose control of who I am or who I want to be. So, would you please decide whether to commit me? Harris cried out. Marlena consented to jailhouse Harris. Kate later went to Harris' room. Kate expressed regret that her attempt to kill Megan had failed. Harris informed Kate of his intention to get assistance at Bayview and stated there was nothing to apologize for. Channel set a breakfast buffet on a table in front of Sweet Bits in Horton Town Square. Clint Rawlings, a charming gentleman with brown hair and a tuxedo and tie, introduced himself to Channel. Since Avi passed away, according to Clint, he is the interim mayor. Channel recognized Clint's attitude toward her right away. Clint's statement that Sweet Bits would be permanently shuttered if it were up to him supported Channel's suspicions. Clint began listing all of Channel's previous relationships. Clint knowing so much about Channel's personal life scared Channel. Clint claimed that since the two had arrived in Salem, Channel and Paulina had only brought trouble. Clint spoke of restoring law and order to Salem under his watch. Clint emphasized that if he found out Channel had committed another infraction, she would never again conduct business in Salem. Channel was left speechless as Clint walked away. A short while afterwards, Allie in New Zealand called Channel. Allie conveyed her sorrow about Abe's departure. Just when Johnny was pouting close, Channel remarked that she had no new people in her life. Channel noticed something was off when she went to check on Johnny. Wendy had earlier requested Tripp to give her and Johnny some alone at the Shin apartment. Tripp departed to see Steve. After that, Johnny assumed Wendy had decided to date him instead of Tripp. Wendy, on the other hand, said that Johnny wasn't being truthful about his feelings for Channel. Wendy pointed out how often Johnny had been in Channel's life despite his insistence that he didn't want to be with her. Wendy claimed that Johnny's protective nature was always at the forefront of his decisions, and she added that this was one of the factors influencing her decision to date Tripp. Johnny was shocked, particularly when Wendy said that her feelings for Tripp had begun to intensify. The timing wasn't ideal for Wendy and Johnny, she continued. Steve assumed that Tripp was having a difficult day at his and Kayla's house. Tripp claimed he believed Wendy was on the verge of being lost to Johnny. When Steve and Beau were Tripp's age, they used to battle over a girl's attention. When Tripp stated that he would not stand up for a woman, Steve laughed that everyone had become overly sentimental. Steve acknowledged that Tripp had to respect a woman's preferences and that it was fortunate that the practice of throwing the woman over my shoulder was no longer practiced. When Tripp argued that males ought to respect women's judgment, he made reference to Wendy's decision to choose Tripp over Johnny. Steve claimed to be hip in his advocacy of gender equality and speaking out against toxic masculinity. But he pointed out that Tripp and Johnny didn't have to act in a destructive or disrespectful manner. Tripp's generation, according to Steve, is more intelligent than his own. Steve urged Trip. You just show Wendy what a good, awesome man you are, and that you're in it for the long haul. Trip, according to Steve, tended to shy away from people as a result of his frequent injuries. Steve acknowledged his understanding and stated that he had acted similarly when he had been Trip's age. According to Steve, Trip needed to let Wendy know that he was staying put if he really cared about her. Trip was urged by Steve to think about everything he had said. Trip pledged to do so and thanked Steve for his guidance. After exchanging hugs, Trip walked away to find Wendy. Steve happily grinned as Trip walked away. When Wendy revealed that she had informed Johnny that she had selected Trip, Trip was taken aback at the Shin apartment. Trip was the man Wendy wished to be with, she muttered. Trip smiled and kissed Wendy. Rafe was shocked when a furious Sean revealed to him in the Salem police station that he knew firsthand that Rafe had been having an intimate connection with Jada. Sean disclosed that he had heard Jada mention spending the night with Rafe to Kate at the Brady pub. Rafe charged Sean with listening in on a personal conversation. Before Sean said out loud that he wouldn't tell anyone that Rafe had been hooking up with Jada, he and Rafe traded accusations with one another. At that precise moment, Clint showed up and challenged Rafe over what Sean had stated. Clint had misheard, according to Sean. When Jada showed there, Clint revealed that Sean had alleged that Jada and Rafe were involved improperly. Clint insisted on speaking privately with Jada. Jada and Clint departed. Sean then made an effort to make amends with Rafe. Rafe instructed Sean to surrender his badge and weapons after deciding that Sean had accomplished enough. Sean got out of the train. Marlena was taken aback when she later ran across Sean at the hospital. Sean admitted to lying to both himself and others and said he had been fired from the police department. Marlena, I'm in trouble, and I need your assistance. Before I make things more worse in my life, Sean added solemnly. When Jada arrived back at the police station, Rafe walked around the lobby anxiously before Clint joined them. Clint said that Jada had verified her and Rafe's involvement in a romantic relationship. There is nothing I can do but act right away. Clint said, I'm going to need to take your gun and your badge. Clint didn't have the power to suspend Jada, according to Rafe. Rafe then received devastating news from Clint. Oh, and I'm not suspending her or you either. I do, however, have the power to name the police commissioner and to fire him in my capacity as acting mayor. Alternatively put, you're fired, Clint informed Rafe. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.